have a young sister, my mom always made a clear distinction between us. It wasn't anything like abuse or neglect. It was more like we didn't get along very well. When I tried to join in on their conversations, they would look at each other, go silent, and give me an awkward look. When we went out shopping, she would buy things for my little sister, but not me. Whenever my dad saw this, he sometimes brought me back gifts, but...
Here you are, Sasuji.
No fair, Sasuji!
You're the older sister. How do you think Akane feels?
No fair!
I didn't know you were like that.
So they kept saying mean things like that to me as I grew up. Today, I am happily married and have a daughter of my own. I no longer live with my family. Akane got married too. She lived with my parents since she was working a lot. My mom did most of the work around the house. It looked like she got a lot of help with raising her kids too. I used to visit them with my daughter, but... Hey, Nana!
You two, you're so pretty and smart. What do you want to do next?
Hey, Mom! Don't just play with Akane's kids, play with Yuri too. Why do you have to discriminate like that?
Really? I didn't notice. And I raised these two like they were my own. Yuri only comes by from time to time. Of course I'll have different feelings.
That's it! You always singled me out when I was little! Do you know how hard that was? And now you're doing the same thing to my daughter? What is your problem? I got a part-time job when I was in high school so I could save money and pay for my own college. I even paid for living expenses when I was a student living here.
That's not what I meant.
We do something to upset you? If that's how it's going to be, we won't be coming by anymore.
What?
You're no longer my parents. From now on, Katsuda-san's parents are my real parents. And so, I stopped paying visits to my family. A year later, my dad retired from work and they were hosting a family dinner. I couldn't ignore that, so I ended up attending.
Hey, sis, can I talk to you?
What is it? Using Dad's severance pay, we decided to buy a 2-family house. It's a pretty big house, so we still have to take out a mortgage. But Dad is skilled and he can still work, and we're both working still, so it's not a problem. So that's that. And after hearing you say that Mom and Dad weren't your real parents and that your in-laws were your true family, I decided I don't want you to be involved in any of our family matters. The house, the land, I will be inheriting everything. In return, I will look after Mom and Dad from now on. So please, sign these papers. Documents say that in the event of my parents' passing, I will surrender all my inheritance, excluding the portion I am legally entitled to. I signed the papers and left. So my sister got the house of her dreams, and she had Mom do all the housework so she could focus on the job she loved. And she was leading a happy life. But a few years later, Dad got dementia. To make things worse, my mother got injured and became physically disabled. I learned this when my sister called me. You have an obligation to look after them too. Either come by the house or live in this house and look after them.
I can't. I'm looking after my mother-in-law. But my hands were tied, so I ended up going to my family's house I'd never visited. It looked nice from the outside, but the inside was pretty messy.
I can't pay the mortgage because of Mom and Dad's hospital bills. I can't live in a house like this. I still have kids to look after too. You should come here every day and look after them, or better yet, live here and take care of everything. You have an obligation to look after your parents too.
You said you would look after Mom and Dad. Take responsibility for your words. I'm relinquishing all of my inheritance. Remember the documents I signed? And I'm working too while looking after my mother-in-law. So I literally can't come here and look after things. My mother-in-law was really good to me throughout the years. She helped me a lot. So helping her came natural to me, and it isn't a burden. It's normal to look after people that cared for you. Have you guys done any of that for me? But I couldn't just leave them like that and do absolutely nothing. So I contacted some local aid group to get help with their nursing care certification and requested home care workers. My sister was still complaining that it was expensive, but her husband and children snapped at her and she finally stopped complaining. I visited my parents from time to time to handle paperwork. My mom was constantly complaining about my sister when she wasn't around.
And Kane didn't help me at all when I got injured. I couldn't just serve microwave dishes or canned food, so I asked her to help me, but she can't do anything. Needless to say, she can't do anything to help Dad. She even complained that people younger than her are getting promotions before her because she couldn't go to college. And she blames us for that. She'd say things like, "What are you going to do about my life? My life is messed up because of you guys." So I told her, "Your older sister went to college with her own money. If you're going to complain, why didn't you go to college with your own money like she did? You just didn't try hard enough." Then she started crying.
Mom, you're disgusting.
What? And Akane depended on you guys for everything, and she has the nerve to blame you guys now that you're both useless? That's disgusting too. Anyways, I'm done. I
I am finished here! Since then, I haven't seen them once. I blocked most of their calls. From what I hear from home care workers and other relatives, they are getting by with their help. My dad used to be gentle and kind, but after getting dementia, he became short-tempered.
Sasuji left because of you! Why can't I see Sasuji? It's your fault this home is like hell!
Are the things he would say. I hear Mom is regretting things. She even said I was wrong. But hearing that doesn't really make me feel any better. I think I'll just focus on taking care of my family.
ご視聴いただきありがとうございました。幼い頃からここまで差別化されてしまうと、産んでくれたことに感謝はできても育ててくれたことに感謝は芽生えなさそうです。本当になぜ差別化なんてしてしまったんですかね。理由を聞いたところで理解はできないでしょうけど、甚だ疑問に思います。皆さんはどう感じましたか？コメント欄に書いていただけると嬉しいです。またつつじさん家族が幸せに過ごせるといいなと思った方、チャンネル登録と高評価をお願いいたします。